This is A Note to Future Me. Hi, this is Brett Johnson, your host, and the owner of Circle 270 Media Podcast Consultants. We as podcasters really underutilize the power of LinkedIn. And that is why I have an interview with Deborah Matthias, longtime friend, colleague of mine, who is the LinkedIn expert. She's a LinkedIn business coach, career transition expert, LinkedIn sales strategist, relationship builder, LinkedIn local host, connection specialist using networking with LinkedIn, and career transitioning with LinkedIn. This lady does a lot of stuff for a lot of people on LinkedIn. She was here in the Columbus, Ohio market for many years, worked with her here. She moved to the Raleigh Triangle area and really started to explode on the scene with LinkedIn Local, working with corporate level people, groups, individuals, making it happen, making connections, helping them meet clients and find careers. The lady knows her stuff about LinkedIn. And in this episode, we have some really good insight on best practices on how to use LinkedIn as a podcaster, as well as she's spotlighted 3 new features that LinkedIn has started to incorporate this year that will really up your game on LinkedIn. So enjoy the episode. I'll have more in the show notes, connection to Deborah, as well as more information about how to sign up for my newsletter as well. So enjoy the episode. As soon as it's done, take your notes, get on LinkedIn, and update your LinkedIn profile. So Deb, how did you get into this LinkedIn consulting and being a coach and doing this professionally, that you're helping people grow on LinkedIn, that you saw an opportunity to do this on LinkedIn? How did that begin?
Well, it's kind of a crazy story. A friend of mine asked me to take over one of her networking groups one Tuesday morning at 7:30 in the morning.
Well, you remember that specifically.
I do, because I'm sitting, because of the time of day. It's like, you want me to be somewhere at 7:30 in the morning because what? And she goes, my son's sick. I need to take him to the doctor. And I've got this networking group. And will you do it? And I go, oh, okay, sure. And so I go, what kind of networking group is it? And she goes, it's social media. And I went, Katie, I don't do social media. And she goes, you're all over LinkedIn. Just tell people what you do. So that morning I went into that networking group. We had the networking session, and I took in my computer and I literally plugged it in and got on LinkedIn and said, this is what I'm doing on LinkedIn. From that networking meeting that morning, there just happened to be a Fortune 500 and a Fortune 100 sales executive in there, and they're like, you've got to come talk to our company about this and tell us how to use this tool. After that, it was truly about helping people sell differently, to connect differently, because until that point, I had never gotten on social media and talked to people that much, networked. I'd always done it face to face, which is a big part of who I am. But I saw the opportunity to, if a Fortune 500 and a Fortune 100 company didn't know how to use this tool, everybody else did too. So I just started going through my network, and people started coming to me and asking me, could I show them what I was doing on LinkedIn and how I was so successful.
Wow. Yeah. And that's almost a statement of never turn down an opportunity, even though it's kind of out of your comfort zone. You know you can do it. Just do it, and you never know what might happen.
Just do it.
Yeah. Wow.
There are so many, and I say that every day about LinkedIn. There are so many chance encounters on LinkedIn. Who's viewing your profile? Who's looking at your content? People that reach out to you to connect, that genuinely want that networking relationship. that referral partner or they want to do business with you, don't ever look at someone as, well, that's not really somebody that I would, do business with or that, because you never know.
Right.
That person could know the person that could be your biggest client or your biggest referral partner.
Right. And I look at LinkedIn too, is that it's an educational forum. Learn from other people too, because we choose our path on what we want to do with our career, whether you are
Absolutely.
working for someone or working for yourself. But you still need to be multidimensional. You need to know a little bit about this, a little bit about that. And if you find somebody to follow or to connect with, and they're your quote unquote LinkedIn educator about social media, very specific things, or about sales, or whatever it is you need to know a little bit more about just to be dangerous. LinkedIn's a great tool to learn a little bit more, just so you're savvy on this.
That is so true. I can't tell you. I take time every day to go through and look on my homepage and see what people are putting down. Content, things that I may not have known. It's almost like a free education system.
All right.
Business, sales, team building, leadership. You can learn so much from your network on LinkedIn.
All right. And I think even the LinkedIn news updates are good. They're insightful, and a lot of stuff is not in the general public. I think today, and again, this is going to be dated by someone listening to it, but the Dollar General store went with something over $1. That made the news. So there's something in Dollar General that was over $1. I mean, but it's click enough that you want to go, oh, come on. Well, I thought they already were doing that, sort of thing. So something is over $1 in the Dollar General store. It's like, okay, that's cool. So anyway, but we had initially wanted to talk about LinkedIn stories. Well, that's gone. We waited long enough that apparently Microsoft decided that was not a thing anymore. So when you came back with, and my mind was kind of going there as well too, because we would have incorporated this with the LinkedIn stories, is let's look at some best practices and new features. We want to, I think LinkedIn is so underutilized by podcasters, especially in the business world. They're utilizing LinkedIn, but I think there are some things to understand about the best practices, how to utilize this platform as a podcaster that is in the business realm, even a B2C to a certain degree. You just have to figure it out. But it's still organic. It still has that connectability that Facebook is just shoved away. We still see that in LinkedIn. So let's go over, some best practices. You mentioned something about, you said it earlier, check your dashboard daily for leads. Talk a little bit more about that. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the first things that I tell my clients when I first meet with them is, you have a gold mine sitting right in front of you and you don't even know it. You see it every day and you pass it, but you never look at it. Who's viewed your profile is the number one. 76% of people who were asked said that who's viewed your profile is the number one thing and the number one reason they buy the premium version of LinkedIn. Because if you have the free version, you only see about 4 or 5 people. And then it says, oh, but 68 other people, looked at your profile. Well, back in 2009, when I got on LinkedIn and I saw that, I was like, I got to know who those people are. Curiosity killed the cat. I got to know. So I bought the premium version, and those people who are looking at your profile find something interesting about you. So why not reach out to those people? The second one, post views. People that are looking at your content are interested in what you have to say. So you want to know, who's looking at your content.
All right.
And it's so funny because I go every day and look, no matter what I do, I go and look at who's viewing my content, because I know that those people are interested in not only me as a person, but the message that I'm putting out. So why not connect with those people and start a relationship? Obviously, you're of like mind because they're interested in what you're saying. That's a warm lead. The third one is something that I don't think few people understand, and that's search appearances. People who are on LinkedIn every day, and let's talk a brief second about keywords. Anybody who's in SEO knows the term keywords. So I'm sitting at my desk and I need to find someone to be my accountant. I go and put accountant in the search bar. Someone's profile shows up, and I click on that person's profile. I have just created a search appearance for that person because people are on LinkedIn to connect with people, to get to know them, to do business, and people are searching every day in the search bar for what they're trying to find, who they're trying to connect with. And they do it a lot of times by industry, and that's what this is predicated on. So when you go to your search appearances and you see for 1 week you've had X number of search appearances, go to those companies that have been searching you, because LinkedIn gives you a lot of information. They give you the title of the person. Is it a founder, a VP, president, CEO, CFO? And they also give you the keyword that was used for your profile to come up. A lot of times mine's career transition, coach, LinkedIn trainer, executive coach. So your profile being filled with all those keywords are what help you get found. When you get found, go to those companies and look at the people who, work there, and see who those people were that found you via search appearance and reach out to them.
Yeah.
They're already familiar with you. They've already looked at your profile.
Yeah.
So the dashboard is a powerful tool that, so many people look over. Not to mention when people comment on your content, those are people that you need to be reaching out to if they're a second or third connection, because they like what you're saying.
Well, and LinkedIn likes it too. I mean, they're always encouraging you to continue the conversation, I believe they label it as. So it's, don't ignore those that comment, even though you don't know them. Say, hey, thank you for the insight on the article that I posted, or something to that effect. Yeah, I can see that, and that kind of leads to the second idea here of posting creative content 1 to 2 times a week. And you mentioned a little bit earlier about posting and creativity and such. I could see where you'd want to be creative no matter what. If you have followers, they want to see something creative from you, and if you do create creative content, you have an opportunity to reach somebody that maybe didn't see you before because you did something different. So it benefits both ways, new and old, of who's following you.
It really does. One of the posts that I got the most views, comments on lately had to do with, I heard some disturbing news this past week, was how I started it. And it was how people are now on LinkedIn saying, well, if you don't use my service, I'm not going to use your service or do business with you. And when I heard that, I wrote, and it resonated with a lot of people, because so many people see LinkedIn as a networking, format and to do business. And for someone to say, well, I'm not going to, do business with you if you don't use my service. I tell people right up front, I may not be able to do business with you directly, but I've got 9,800 connections maybe that could.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And I'll introduce you to all of them.
Right. Are you going to ignore that? The odds are 1 or 2 out of 9,800 are probably at least worth a conversation with, that sort of thing. Yeah.
A cup of
Yeah.
coffee, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, with that creative content, I'm hearing, and I wanted to ask you about this too, that video is going to be becoming more and more important for posting.
it is. The algorithm views people who use videos as someone who's an influencer and laying down content, good content, even if it's a bad video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The algorithm doesn't know. It's just going to pick your content up and push it forward because you're doing a video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, I think it's almost imperative to have at least 1 or 2 videos in your content, in your featured section, so that it can help your content get pushed forward.
Right, right. And is there an optimal length? To me, I probably won't sit through more than 30, 45 seconds of something to go through it. But I'm sure the algorithm likes it a little bit longer, I suppose, for engagement, maybe?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
No. 30 seconds,
Okay.
30 to 45 seconds, just like you said. Okay. Remember the old days of us in radio, mm-hmm. how, a 1 minute commercial was so much more, but was it that much effective? Couldn't a 30-second commercial get it done in as good a time? Especially, let's say, back in the day, if you put it down enough times and people heard it enough, it's the same thing on LinkedIn. Right. Do those 30-second commercials. Yeah. Those 30-second, hey, I'm doing this. You may want to attend this. Or, hey, I heard this great news about LinkedIn. Let me tell you how to do this. Anything, great content. That's what people are interested in. Yeah. Teach me something.
Right. Yeah, because I know my thumb stops scrolling when I see video, especially with the subscript in it, and that at least it's transcribing it for me, that I don't really have to listen to that person. I'll still read it. It works for me. I just but I'm sometimes not in the norms, so I got to ask.
No, it's human nature. When people see a video, it gives the personality of the people. Right. It lets people see a little bit more of who you are and your personality, creativity.
Right. Yeah. And you mentioned here number 3 is to like, comment, and share your network's content. So I want to ask this as well too. Is it enough to say, hey, great article, thanks for sharing? Or should you really take the time to read what they're sharing or they've posted and make an intelligent comment on it? To me, I'd rather see that, honestly, but I don't know if it matters ultimately.
Well, it matters in 2 different ways. Number 1, the first reason it matters is because the algorithm is not going to pick up that you've said that much if it's great job.
Right.
Plus, it's going to give you bonus if you say 5 to 6, 7 words in a comment and tag the person that you're making the comment to. Because as the algorithm is looking at your content, it's also looking at what you do when you respond to other people's content. So if most of mine, yes, please people, read the person's content before you comment on it. I had a lady the other day and, she goes, I am so embarrassed. I had to delete my comment. I really didn't read. I read part of it and I made this comment and, the lady was upset of the comment that I made and she asked me to take it down and I go, well, what did you say? And when she told me, I went, you didn't read it all. No, I missed that last sentence.
Which was the turn of the whole thing, exactly.
Which was the turn of the whole thing. Yeah, so, and sharing, that's another thing that kind of the algorithm has, and I'm the type of person, I want to share good content. It's hard for me to really write really good content 2, 3, 4 times a week. But if someone writes good content and I can share that, my network is still getting the benefit of great content. But the algorithm does reward for organic written content. So do you get points for sharing? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get more points for laying down something that's organic and, comes from the heart? Absolutely.
Sure. And you're getting some bonus points by sharing and tagging as well then too. That's interesting.
Right.
Wow.
You're helping that person get in front of your network.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asked this, I've been asked this many times, why don't you charge to promote people on LinkedIn? Because it's not the right thing to do. I like to feed my network, to let my network see the people that I'm connected to, because I know the people that I'm connected to, some of them could do business with. And I would say probably 10 times a week, I'm introducing people that say, hey, do you know a good attorney, a good landscaper, a good this, I love doing that. That's connecting. That's why I named my company Connect Clients.
Right. Yeah. And really, that's not the platform to do it. There are other platforms built for that situation that you can charge for membership or you can be in for free, but here's another surcharge, that sort of thing to be in this piece. This isn't, LinkedIn's not really built for that, honestly. And luckily there are other apps that are. So that's great. If that's where you want to go, you go that direction. Yeah. Without diluting it. So yeah. Let's do some new features. I'm always excited about new stuff coming up because, again, we were excited about LinkedIn Stories, but case say sarah. But you're talking about number one, cover story. So let's talk about that. What is that?
Oh my gosh, this is the best thing LinkedIn has done in the last 6 months. Okay. It is just so. Let me explain what a cover story is. Mm-hmm. In your picture on your LinkedIn profile, you have to be on the LinkedIn app, the latest version of the LinkedIn app to do this. Or you can do it outside and put it together and then share it to your phone and upload it from your phone, but it's got to be done from the phone.
Okay.
So the cover story is a 30-second video that you can, instead of having a photo on your LinkedIn profile, do a little video to tell people who you are. So for people who are in career transition, this is one of the best tools ever, because that HR director or that VP of a company, if he goes to your profile and he can actually see you going, hi, my name's Deborah Mathias. I'm in career transition. I'm looking for XYZ position. This is brilliant on LinkedIn's part to do this so that everybody can get a little glimpse of your personality. Mm-hmm. I guide my clients who are trying to build their business to do the same thing. Show your product, show your service, tell about your service. And it's great.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for a retail store, a brand new product coming in. You do it weekly, almost. Say, look what came in today. Right. and showcase it that way. That could be, if nothing else, have fun with it and see what happens. See what happens with it. Yeah. Wow. Right. So 30 seconds in length, but it has to be on your phone, basically working through the app.
And it's just it's going to have like a orange circle around your photo. Mm-hmm. And when you first get on somebody's profile, if you see it blink just a little bit, it'll give you like a 3-second clip of the video. The first time I saw it, I was like, did that guy's picture just move?
Like holographic feel to it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it just moved, and then it started the video and did like a 3-second clip of the video. And so I was like, okay, I got to find out what this is. And when I found out it was Cover Story, I was like, well, when am I going to get mine? Because they're still rolling it out.
Okay.
Everybody may not have it yet.
Okay. Okay. Which is typical for any addition to most social media platforms. I mean, Facebook did it with podcasts as well. That there were a select few that were kind of in beta, I guess you could say. Add the podcast, see how it plays around before we put it out. Or certain countries had it before that sort of thing too. Yeah. Provided services on your profile. So talk about that. Up to 5 services. So what's all that about?
So on your profile, directly below your headline, there's going to be a little 1-sentence thing that says, providing services, show people what services you provide. And you click on that. And once you've clicked on it, it's going to allow you to put up to 5 providing services that you have on your profile. And it's also going to have an about section. Now, yes, do we have the about section on our profile up front? Yes, on the front of your profile, there's an about section. There's also an about section in the providing services part. And that's going to allow you to tell a little bit about your services.
Okay.
It's different than the about section on the front of the profile. So tell a little bit about yourself. And once you've done that, it's going to have directly underneath your headline, you're providing services so that people can see what your services are. For people in career transition, they also have let your employer know what type of career you're looking for. So they too can put the type of career that they are looking for. One of the best changes that LinkedIn did to the profile in the last year. It helps people in career transition. It helps people in, business.
So those 5 services could be truly keyword laden, and then you have the opportunity to expand on it a little bit.
Right.
And looking at it that way. Wow. I love that. I love that career transition thing idea of just putting skills. Wow. Yeah. Or just whatever.
Really, I mean, I have had several of my career transition clients. That was one of the ways that people reached out to them. They're like, oh, this guy wants to do this type of work. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Wow. Fantastic. That's
and then
great.
they read the about section within that, and it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, dead on. I got to talk to this person. Yeah, if nothing else, to find out a little bit more.
Right.
Wow. And number 3, creator mode. So what's going on with that?
This is my third, I'm off the charts happy about this for people who are influencers like myself and trying to get our content out there. So underneath the dashboard is a little bitty button that says creator mode off. So to turn it on, you click creator mode, and it's going to take your LinkedIn activity section and your featured section and put them above your about section on your profile, so that when people are looking at your profile, they see the featured stuff that's going on that you want to feature, and they see your activity before they get to the about section.
Interesting.
And it also gives you 5 hashtags that you are going to speak on LinkedIn. So if you speak on business, training, mine's marketing, branding, promotions, training, LinkedIn, those are my, things that I speak about on LinkedIn. So when someone looks at that, they can go, oh, well, I don't really, I'm not a bit into horticulture. I probably wouldn't want to connect with this person because they've got what they speak about on LinkedIn in the creator mode.
That may be the biggest improvement for anybody with a podcast or doing podcasts.
Yes.
That seriously is.
Absolutely.
That's a game changer.
It is a game changer.
Because of what you can post, what you do on LinkedIn and the tags, as you mentioned, are featured now versus scrolling down a little bit. Wow.
Right. As soon as you get on my profile, you're going to see my featured and my activity.
Yeah.
So for podcasters, you could put all of your podcasts directly in the featured section. People are going to see that first because, let's be honest, nobody scrolls all the way to the end of somebody's profile. No. Not usually. No. They'll go halfway down. They'll go, down so far, but it's really great.
Well, and I was going to ask you this question too. It doesn't pertain to a new feature, but it's an old feature, articles. So, like kind of go in that direction. This could actually replace articles, kind of.
I don't think that it will replace articles, but you're
getting more gas out of this than an article is giving you on.
Well, LinkedIn. That's true.
Right. I mean, I guess I should have said that initially.
Well,
I'm getting the impression that articles really aren't a thing.
Lately articles have come back on LinkedIn.
Okay, good.
More so than they were a year ago.
Good.
However, the article itself has to be great content. I mean, some people that write 2 and 3, 4 articles a week, it's like, I don't even know how you have the time to do that. Less is always best. Great content is always going to win. Mm-hmm. And taking your article and putting it in your featured section,
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah.
So you could take, just like with the podcast, put that in your featured section.
Okay. That sounds good. I've heard back and forth with the articles as well, too. I'm not doing them just because I'm hearing, it doesn't do any good. It was like, well, if I create content, I'm going to put it everywhere that I can.
Right.
Bottom line, they tweak it here or there because I'm going to design it a little bit differently for LinkedIn than I would on my blog post on my website, but it's still exposure. It's still, I put something in LinkedIn and it's going to activate and share amongst my network. So I'm going to do it no matter what.
Exactly.
It just comes down to, do people read it? Is it a shareable thing? Is it worth someone's time? Of course, ultimately.
Right.
So, wow. Yeah. That creator mode's super. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Those 3 new features are fantastic. Oh my gosh. I'm excited now too. And I like what LinkedIn is doing. They are definitely, those 3 things there are again, solidifying that Microsoft gets it, and they're still trying to be a business platform.
Yeah,
that feels good. That feels good. Yeah, that feels good.
The things there are more than 3 changes, but those 3 changes were the ones that I got really excited about because it's allowing both people in career transition, people who are trying to build their business, people who are trying to network. It gives you so much information and personality of the people you're looking at through, the cover story. Through the creator mode, I can get right at someone's, content and look and see what they're doing right away. And the providing services is just, to really know what somebody's doing. All I have to do is go look.
Yeah.
So it makes it easy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I don't do this with every guest, but I want to ask you a question. Things you wish were really healthy for you that aren't. Let's end on a high note here. It's like, I wish this was healthy, like ice cream. I kind of is though, but I know it's not.
You just said it.
I wish, of course,
ice cream was healthy.
I take your thunder away.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. I love ice cream.
Yeah.
Every night I would eat ice cream. I really would. That's just my go-to. And, we go to the grocery store every week. My husband goes, do we get ice cream or not this week? And I'm like, well, I've gained 20 pounds during the pandemic.
So are you veering off into like oat milk ice cream or anything like that? Or just forget it? If there's going to be ice cream, I'm going to go full.
If there's going to be ice cream, it's going to be ice cream. It's just going to be a smaller portion of ice cream instead of 6 scoops.
Right. So you're in North Carolina. Is there any local ice cream that's just to die for? Got to go do it?
Howling Cow. It's NC State's ice cream that they actually make on the premises at the farm at NC State.
Oh, cool.
It is the best. Yeah. They have the best butter pecan ever.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
I found that one.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love it. Good. Well, guys, thank you for taking the time to do this. I know we had a pre-show banter of about 45 minutes, and we've been on together for a while, but we haven't caught up in a long time. But I really appreciate your insights on this because some of these I knew were going on, but I don't have the time to research it. I knew about the video thing, but it's one of those, we got to find out more about it and see what's going on, because I wouldn't have, I would have been on my computer trying to figure out this video thing from my picture forever and going, well, why isn't it working? Well, you need to be on your phone, Brett.
It's got to be done on the phone.
Right. You can watch it here. Well, if I can watch it here, why can't I do it here?
Why can't I do it here? Right.
It's all about being in the club, and knowing how to be in the club. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. I will have your contact information in the notes that if anybody wants to, I definitely encourage anyone to start following Deb on LinkedIn because of what you're putting on as posts and stuff. Just you're going to learn more about LinkedIn by doing it as well. And everyone that follows you and what you're sharing, as you mentioned earlier, you're spreading some great wealth for free.
Well, I love to help. I love to train. I love to see people succeed. And so thank you so much for having me. To anyone who's watching, Brett Johnson is a wonderful guy. Keep watching.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We're doing what we can. Let's put it that way. So I think we both are having fun at what we're doing, and that's all really that matters, honestly. Yeah, right. It does.
That's good.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, good. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you.